Hey, we have the Anthony Cumia liners. Even if I'm like running into his show, we need to run Anthony Cumia live from New York or Florida, wherever he's at today, joining us with his great media organization. We're going to tell you about the great work he's doing. I just want to spend a few minutes with him because I want to pick his brain about what's happening. In fact, let's cue that clip up. John McCain says that Rand Paul works for Vladimir Putin. I thought he worked for Santa Claus, but we'll go to that in a moment. And you've got all these great job numbers coming in. You've got the best small business startups since 1984, peak of the Reagan recovery. You've got the whole world just rushing into the U.S. now that we're open for business. All this happening. And you've got Snoop Dogg saying kill the president, his nephew saying kidnap his wife, put her in sex slavery. You've got just the, that intro liner. I've been airing those type of liners for 20 years. Deep behind enemy lines, FEMA Region 6. Under globalism. You know, America's being taken over by multinationals. And as I say, if Trump succeeds, I won't run those promos anymore. Intros saying deep behind enemy lines, FEMA Region 6. But I mean, I'm in a UN stronghold, a model UN city where they have all this social engineering and high taxes, just like New York or San Francisco, and they admit they're doing it to screw the little guy. And then the VA, not just in Florida, we're learning all over the country, won't hang up Trump pictures. They won't hang them up in federal buildings. There's a total revolt of all these lazy jerks. And then the federal judges, again, connected to the Ninth Circuit, they come out and say, oh, we're just ignoring the travel ban from countries that don't even have passports or airfields that work. Just random people from basically barbarian hellholes. Barbarians saying something, actually. They live better than folks in these countries. I feel sorry for these folks, but they can't just come here. And so there's just this open revolt by the shadow state that just thinks it owns everything. The good news is everything they do turns to crap. Everything they do blows up in their face, but they don't care. They're just moving forward. So what happens when the immovable object runs into the unstoppable force? I think that was a C.S. Lewis book, Unstoppable Force. I read that like 20 years ago or more than that. God, I'm getting old. Maybe I was like 12 years old. 30 years ago. God almighty, longer than that. So here we are. What's going to happen? Because you got everybody saying kill the president. Even newspapers say, are you allowed to say that now? They're and it's a bunch of wimps. Well, you got the biggest armed force in history, 100+ million armed gun owners, 50+ million veterans, a lot of military age who don't want trouble but are done. And then Snoop says kill the president, shoot cops in a video, brags about it and tweets, says, yeah, you ought to die. His little punk Bow Wow comes out and says, shut up, don't criticize my uncle, or I'll kidnap your wife, put her in a gang rape facility like the Muslims do. That's what he said. And he's bitching like, how dare the president say something back when my uncle says he wants to kill you? How dare you? You're supposed to just roll over and let us kill you. Now, Bow Wow's deleted that, so Anthony Cumia joins us. Anthony, I'm going to let you take over. I apologize for jumping into your show. Of course, it's compoundmedia.com, the Cumia Show, C-U-M-I-A show on Twitter. While we're still there, we've been strangled back 90% the last month on Facebook, Google, Twitter, you name it. It's okay. The listeners are coming to us. Our numbers have gone up here, but you've been fired off everywhere for, being a conservative or a libertarian or just a common sense guy. And, you had the top show on XM, and we had a huge show on XM for like 8 years. And they said, oh, sorry, we're 100+ hosts are being kicked off 2 years ago because Obama wants you off. They would tell you, like, you're going to back off Obama or you're going to be off the air. And we're supposed to just roll over like the Soviet Union. Oh, we're popular. We're just telling the truth. Mom and apple pie here, just kick us off the air. The problem is the people now are awake. They know what's going on. They're coming to us. So where do you see this whole fight going? No more banner. I'm going to turn it over to you. Anthony Cumia, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex. I love this. I was getting all pumped up listening to Alex and Mr. Dice there. It's just amazing. I feel like re-energized. We've wanted something like this for so long. We've been sitting around under at least the 8 years of Obama, and even before that, feeling powerless. Just feeling so powerless, nothing we could possibly do.
And we didn't say kill anybody when Obama was doing bad stuff. Imagine if you or I said kill Obama. It'd be in 500 newspapers or more tomorrow. We'd be arrested.
The double standard is unbelievable with the left. That little punk Bow Wow, talks about prostituting, sending the first lady, putting her out on the street. And I was saying on Twitter, I was like, can you imagine if a country artist who, because they deem country artists as horrid racists anyway, a country artist would have said the same thing about Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. They would have been shunned from society. Never mind just reprimanded or forced to apologize. They would have been removed from society, never to be heard from again. But that stuff just wasn't happening. People tried to equate it with Ted Nugent, who used to speak actually quite accurately about Barack Obama, but people saw that as being horrible and racist and terrible. Well, the guy, after that pretty much has to live on his own compound in the middle of nowhere and play guitar for his fans on Periscope. He has been shunned. Oh, what about Ted Nugent? He said some things. Yeah, and look where he is. He had shows canceled, sponsors that canceled on him. Believe me, Ted Nugent is an outcast of society because of his political views.
But because of him and other people's courage, and you got fired too, we're here. We kicked their ass. But a lot of people, including myself, we lost $5 million just last month. 3.3 last year. It was scheduled to make $5+ million this year. Google just said, you can't run ads for frickin' multivitamins. I mean, I go make money outside of here. I could just be cold-blooded business guy and make 10 times the money. I'm not stupid. And it's just crazy. I take money from outside to fund the truth, and then they cut that off.
Yeah. They don't want, they're going to great lengths. As you were explaining before, the desperation is palpable. It's amazing how desperate the left and globalists and the corporations have gotten at this point, because they see, they've cracked the surface. They got a guy in there now who's not one of the regular players. We are in trouble. That's their desperation.
And other ones are getting elected everywhere.
Yes, and with the usual suspects, the boys club that have been in charge for so long are freaking out.
And by the way, I'm going to leave here because I don't want to take over, but I'm just going to say this metaphysically, historically, from my gut, everything I've got. If everybody just keeps pushing forward and taking action and working hard and being good and being classy, but also speaking up and not being intimidated, we're going to win. Just like against the British, in my very gut, it's going to be a hard fight. We're going to win this in the next few years. We're going to break the will of this monopoly, these corporations that are monopoly, that are anti-free market. Things won't be some utopia. We're not offering that. But instead of this big screw job, anti-prosperity, anti-family, anti-private property, anti-man and woman, this whole fake corporate pipe dream, globalism, like Peter Thiel has said, is gone. It's over. They're already dead. They're just in a rearguard action buying, redoubts in Tasmania and Kauai. They admit they're done. They just hope they can try to reorganize something in some vengeance deal. They're losers. And when I say that, it's from the perspective of a winner who the enemy even credits our Operation Drudge, you, everybody, as the reason this happened. We're just the messengers that don't want to be slaves. I don't care about power or anything. I want to be independent. I take it very fundamentally, personally, that people want to make me their slave and my family. So they want to fight. They've got an information war. They want to start a civil war. We're not pushing that. Believe me, guys, a physical fight's much easier against you guys. I don't want that. But let me tell you, we're going to win one way or another. I feel that in my gut. We're going to skip this break so you have more time. But take over Anthony Cumia of compoundmedia.com. Everybody should support the great work you're doing with yourself, Gavin McInnes, the other guys, rock stars. You're kind of like me, more people 30 and older. But I got to tell you, Gavin, your other crew, at high school, softball games I go to. Oh, I saw you once on Compound Media. Rock stars with the young kids. That's the coveted demographic for folks that don't know that everybody wants. Forming those minds early. We're not forming minds. They've been having their minds formed. They want the open, free society. Their genetics, their guts, their spirit gets it. So, Anthony, tell me where you think this is going. Take over.
Great. Thanks, Alex. It's one of these situations where we just want the people to be in charge again. The people have not been in charge for so long. We almost forgot what it was like. And when you see people being exposed, all those professional politicians that have just been working a goof on us for so long, just a scam, getting money, favors, all these things that added up to us being slaves. We really have just been slaves to their whim and will. And it's great to be able to have these platforms to expose these crooks and criminals for what they are. And I couldn't be happier that it's actually working. We've gotten through. People are listening, which is amazing. I love it. I love that they can no longer go on network news and just blather on with complete dishonesty and have people believe it because that's all they had. That's all they had to listen to was network news and cable news outlets that have been exposed as the liars that they are, manipulators that they are with their own agendas. And what's so bad about wanting to have the people in charge again and have the people free to pursue what they want in this great country that has so many opportunities, yet the government itself has over the years just cut back on allowing the people to be a free nation and want to excel and do things. And you see it happening now. You really do. You start seeing it happening where businesses are coming back. People are, they're excited. The market's going up because it's not this fake bubble. People are excited that business is coming back. People have confidence in this country again, that things are going to be made in this country, that we're going to be a strong nation and competitive with the rest of the world once again. Not bowing and apologizing wherever we go around the globe for what they see as past atrocities that we must just be so sorry for forever. Those are the kinds of things I'm enjoying seeing coming out of this new media. And it's refreshing. It really is. Talking again about quickly about Bow Wow and Snoop. I mean, there were people that were upset that Bow Wow said that about the First Lady, and Snoop portrays a Donald Trump clown in one of his videos, and he shoots him. Yeah, and it's horrible. And people were upset about it. Even some people in that community, the rap community, were upset about it. But here's what I don't understand. All Trump has done, Trump is called a racist constantly. All he ever said about minorities in this country is that they should have the opportunities that everyone else has in this country. Isn't that a terrible thing to say? Isn't it terrible that the Democrats for years and years and years, for generations, have kept minorities in this country on a per diem through welfare that keeps them in poverty, just keeps them cycle of poverty over and over again, which creates the cycle of violence and drug abuse and out of wedlock children. It's just this thing that continues to happen generation after generation with no one addressing it. The Democrats only want their votes. That's it. But the racist Donald Trump is saying, look, we can do so much better. We can make these inner cities safe again through real law enforcement. We can give opportunity to people by bringing in more jobs, more industry that has been taken out of this country, and actually give people what this country was about, the opportunity to be successful, the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Again, it's never a guarantee. That's the amazing thing about this country. It's not a guarantee, but you can increase your odds of being successful by having those opportunities available for you, working hard, being innovative, educating yourself. All these things add to your chances that what this country is about will lead to you being a successful person in this country and leading a nice life and having something for the next generation that comes out. That's all he ever said about minorities in this country. Yet it's looked at and talked about like he is a horrible racist. I don't even know how you interpret that into something other than wonderful for people that have been in this cycle of poverty for so long. And when you go on social media and you read some of these tweets that come out of Black Twitter, which is actually a thing. It's an amazing part of Twitter where you just read what people in the black community are saying. And the hatred for Donald Trump and the calls for his assassination and just without even any thought behind some of these tweets that maybe the Secret Service might knock on your door is astounding to me. When all he's saying is we can do much better than just ignoring the problem and hoping every 2 or 4 years these same people go out and vote for the Democrats on the ticket. Because that's all they see minorities as. It's really the crux of everything they do is to get votes, welfare, this illegal immigration into this country. It's all about control and them staying in power. And whoops, it just didn't work last time, did it? They were so sure it was going to work again for them, and they would have another at least 4, maybe 8-year run under Queen Clinton, and it didn't work out. And they were none too pleased about that. So, like I said, I don't understand where that comes from, where that mindset of Trump is a bad guy for saying everybody should have the opportunity to share in the wonder that is the United States of America. Also, the travel ban that he wants to put in place at every turn, just being knocked down. At every turn, he is not allowed to be the president of the United States because these judges that were appointed by Obama and other Democrats will not let him do his job as president of the United States. His job, first and foremost, the protection of this country and its people. And that is what these executive orders have been, protecting this nation against terrorists that come into this country in all kinds of ways. But how about we check out where they're coming from, especially when they're coming in from nations that are known terrorist havens? Well, that can't be done. Judges have smacked it down now twice. He had another executive order drawn up with different language, and it doesn't matter at this point. It does not matter what he does, what language he puts it in. There will be judges that well overreach their powers and strike them down, like we have in Hawaii. What a coincidence that is, huh? Obama's home state, Hawaii, and he just decides he's going to be the one that puts the kibosh on another executive order. Obama makes surprise visit to Hawaii 48 hours before the judge blocks Trump's travel ban. How insane is that? If anyone doesn't think, now, you know, I'm maybe the last one to sound conspiratorial, but I mean, how many things have to happen before you know this relatively young man? He's one of the youngest presidents that we've had. He's obviously one of the youngest ex-presidents we've had. He's not just going to fade into the woodwork and retire somewhere. This guy loves power. He loves that he had this ability to rule, and he's not going away. He's not going away. What he's doing is ruling from behind. He's got a lot of buffers in place, and he wants to keep Donald Trump from succeeding in ripping down his legacy, a legacy that has done nothing but harm this country. And what we're supposed to be embarrassed for being Americans. We're supposed to enter the global community and not be exceptional. Exceptionalism is such a bad word. We are exceptional. This country is amazing. People come here all the time when they need things and they want to get things done. They come here to America. And Obama, for 8 years, was trying to make the United States just another nation on the globe. We're no more special than anyone else. Well, we are. And Trump being in there is showing this. And what are we supposed to do? just ignore the fact that he's still pulling strings, that Obama is still pulling these strings on people, and he's ruling. He's ruling from behind, the dark shadow government, as they call it. And I don't know. I think it is a little odd that he went there 48 hours before the judge makes this decision to block Trump's travel ban. Oh, it's a Muslim ban. What? Aren't Muslims allowed in from every other country except the 6 on the list? If a Christian in one of those countries wants to come here, he can't either. So how is it possibly a Muslim ban? And haven't we bombed some of those countries? Does it mean we're just bombing them because they're Muslim? Wouldn't that be the same exact thing? Oh, we bomb Muslims. Was Obama bombing Muslims for all those years? I guess he was. Because that seems to be exactly what they believe, that if anything happens in those countries, it's because they're Muslim. That's ludicrous. It's ridiculous. Things are changing. We're seeing it. I love it. We'll be back in a matter of moments. Don't go anywhere. Infowars.com. I'm Anthony Cumia.
Look, I'm not going to sit here and say, see, I told you so, that communist Chinese-style net censorship was coming to the web, because it's already here. It's being announced. The way you keep the internet open and free is you get involved more than ever. Go to Infowars.com/app. A new battleship in the fight. Infowars Live, available right now. We're looking for a crew to man it. You going to sit down and play games and be a trendy? Or are you going to be part of history? Don't sit by and let the internet and free speech be stolen from you. Take action.